The story begins with a young woman named Xu Xiaomo, who is sent by her stepmother to a city called Mangbei to search for her younger brother, believed to be living there. Unbeknownst to Xiaomo, her stepmother has already hired an assassin to eliminate her. Fortunately, Xiaomo is saved by a young man named Ji Qichuan. However, Qichuan's rescue of Xiaomo is not without motive. He already knows that Xiaomo is the daughter of a wealthy Chinese businessman named Su He. Apparently, Qichuan is seeking clues from Xiaomo about an incident 3 years ago that led to the death of his older brother. Not only that, Qichuan is convinced that his brother was deliberately murdered and suspects Xiaomo's father, Su He, of being involved. To make matters more complicated, Qichuan now works as a security guard in the shadowy world of crime, a position he uses to gather information about his brother's death and those involved. As it turns out, Qichuan's earlier rescue of Xiaomo was also orchestrated by Li Qingfeng, the right-hand man of Mangbei's mafia boss. Qingfeng is the very brother Xiaomo has been searching for, though they are not related by blood. However, Xiaomo has always considered Qingfeng her younger brother. As he was adopted into her family before, he chose to leave. Later, Qingfeng gives Xiaomo a ticket, urging her to leave Mangbei and return to China. However, Xiaomo is left stranded on the street. Luckily, Qichuan, who had been following them, steps in and takes Xiaomo with him. Instead of taking Xiaomo back to Qingfeng, Qichuan brings her to a clothing store to help her disguise herself. Xiaomo is currently in Mangbei illegally, without a passport or identification. Shortly after, the shop owner dresses Xiaomo beautifully, even putting her in a wedding gown, making her and Qichuan look like a couple about to marry. Before heading home, Qichuan takes Xiaomo to deliver a package. Meanwhile, it is revealed that Qingfeng works as the right-hand man for a mafia boss named Ao Xin, who was previously hired by Xiaomo's stepmother to kill her. Qingfeng lies to Ao Xin to stop him from pursuing Xiaomo further. It was revealed that Ao Xin has a daughter named Chaya, who is about to marry the man of her choice. Later, Qichuan and Xiaomo, while delivering the package, are offered a traditional herbal drink by the guards. Unknowingly, they drink it, and the concoction calms their minds, making them compliant with any instructions given. The drink, it turns out, is meant for newlyweds and was arranged by Chaya so she could marry Qichuan, the man she admires. However, Chaya's plan backfires, and instead, Qichuan ends up marrying Xiaomo, the daughter of the man he suspects to be his enemy, Su He. Naturally, Chaya is furious and heartbroken, unable to understand why Qichuan would go through with a marriage to a woman he barely knows. In the end, Chaya vows not to let this stand and begins plotting to reclaim the man she loves from Xiaomo's arms. Meanwhile, Xiaomo reveals to Qichuan that she is not Su He's biological daughter. Her stepmother wants to seize her wealth and assets, which is why she tried to have Xiaomo killed upon her arrival in Mangbei. Knowing this, Qichuan warns Xiaomo that if she wants to stay safe, she must follow his instructions and remain by his side, as her life is in grave danger. To verify Xiaomo's claims, Qichuan tasks his friend Zheng Nan with investigating Xiaomo's DNA to confirm whether she is truly Su He's daughter or not. Although traditionally married to Qichuan, Xiaomo remained determined to find Qingfeng, a man she considered her own brother. She wanted to persuade him to visit their father, Su He, who was hospitalized. However, Qichuan persistently stood in her way. One night, while Qichuan was asleep from exhaustion, Xiaomo slipped away quietly to search for Qingfeng. Tragically, her journey took a dangerous turn. Xiaomo was suddenly abducted by a group of men and tied up in the middle of a forest. These men were under the command of Chaya, the daughter of mafia leader Ao Xin. Chaya could not accept Qichuan being taken by Xiaomo. Fortunately, Zheng Nan and Qichuan managed to rescue her just in time. This harrowing experience stirred emotions within Xiaomo. She began to develop feelings for Qichuan. The scene then shifts to several years ago where Su He, a wealthy man, sought to purchase the rare Wucha gemstone from an anonymous seller from Mangbei. Chi Chuan's elder brother, who was the chief guard at the time, was sent to secure the deal by sea. However, the ship tragically sank during the voyage, resulting in his brother's death. The mastermind behind the incident remains a mystery to this day. In the present, while Chi Chuan was busy with his delivery work, Xiaomo playfully monitored him using the advanced CCTV system in their home. Her curiosity led her to discover a piano. Unable to contain herself, Xiaomo started playing, her fingers dancing gracefully across the piano keys, showing that she was an accomplished pianist. Meanwhile, Chi Chuan and Zheng Nin were shadowing members of AO Scene's Mafia, now under Qing Feng's leadership. Through the CCTV, Chi Chuan watched Xiaomo play the piano and was flooded with memories of someone he had met long ago. Suddenly, soldiers led by Pu Bao appeared, likely intending to capture Xiaomo. In response, Chi Chuan quickly instructed her to hide. When Pu Bao nearly apprehended Xiaomo, Chi Chuan intervened, offering a hefty sum of money to secure her release. But Pu Bao demanded more. Just as the situation grew tense, Pu Bao received a call from his general, instructing him to leave Chi Chuan and his associates alone. Reluctantly, Pu Bao obeyed. Still, he was left pondering Chi Chuan's true identity. It was revealed that Chi Chuan was the nephew of Pu Bao's general, a connection that safeguarded him from mafia threats thanks to military protection. 3 years ago, after losing his brother, Chi Chuan felt his world collapse. He was on the verge of doing the unthinkable until he heard the beautiful melody of a piano, played by none other than Xiaomo. That was their true first encounter, though it seemed Xiaomo had forgotten. Chi Chuan, however, remembered it vividly. That evening, a power outage in their rural home startled Xiaomo. Acting quickly, Chi Chuan reassured her, lighting candles to ease her fear. It was revealed that long ago, Chi Chuan had given Xiaomo a fire pistol to light the ceremonial candles for her adoptive parents' death ritual. Yet, Xiaomo appeared to have no memory of this moment. Unexpectedly, Chi Chuan had fallen for Xiaomo back then and still harbored those feelings, though he struggled to define his love for her. The next day, villagers came to Chi Chuan's house to congratulate him on his marriage to Xiaomo. It was a tradition in Mangbei for neighbors to offer congratulations and gifts upon someone's marriage. After the celebration, Zheng Nin informed Chi Chuan that Xiaomo was not the daughter of Su He, whom Chi Chuan had suspected to be his enemy. This news brought Chi Chuan some relief. Later, Chi Chuan took Xiaomo to AO Scene's headquarters to see Qing Feng, who worked there. Chi Chuan explained that Qing Feng was no longer the same person Xiaomo once knew as her brother. It was revealed that Chai had learned about Qing Feng's sibling bond with Xiaomo, the woman who had captured Chi Chuan's heart. However, Qing Feng clarified that although he and Xiaomo were like siblings, they shared no blood relation. That evening, Chi Chuan took Xiaomo to the forest to watch fireflies, a moment that filled her with joy. Xiaomo admitted she was uncertain about returning to China, as her initial reason for coming to Mangbei was to bring Qing Feng back home. However, Qing Feng seemed to be distancing himself. Unbeknownst to them, Qing Feng had been observing their interaction from a distance. Later, when they returned home, Qing Feng approached Xiaomo for a conversation. It was then that Chi Chuan learned they were not biological siblings. At the same time, Xiaomo revealed her marriage to Chi Chuan, which left Qing Feng shocked and disappointed. In the end, he left with a heavy heart. Xiaomo later confided in Chi Chuan that Qing Feng had left home after a dispute with her adoptive family. Although they were not blood-related, Xiaomo always considered him her brother. As time passed, the bond between Chi Chuan and Xiaomo grew stronger, a change even Zheng Nin noticed. Their mutual affection became apparent, though they remained unaware of it themselves. Chaya observed this closeness and confronted them, surprising Xiaomo. At that moment, Xiaomo discovered that Chaya harbored feelings for Chi Chuan, her traditional husband. However, Chi Chuan did not reciprocate Chaya's feelings. Undeterred, Chaya vowed to win Chi Chuan's heart if Xia Mo did not truly love him. Despite this, Chi Chuan, a man of integrity, showed no interest in Chaya. His heart belonged to Xia Mo, though he struggled to fully comprehend his emotions. That night, Zheng then returned Xia Mo's missing suitcase. However, when she searched for her passport, it was nowhere to be found, rendering her an illegal resident. The next day, Xia Mo gifted Zheng Nan with valuable items, which delighted him given their high market value. Knowing Chi Chuan's connection with a military general, Xia Mo asked for his help in securing a new passport. Though Chi Chuan initially refused, he secretly arranged for a new passport and necessary documents. Later, Qing Feng met Xia Mo and gave her money, urging her to return to China as the local situation grew more dangerous. Remaining in Mangbei would only expose her to more enemies, especially from AO's mafia. It was revealed that Xia Mo had a dream of becoming a renowned pianist. Unexpectedly, an opportunity finally arrived. She received an invitation to a prestigious piano contest and could leave the next day to pursue her dream. Upon hearing this, Chi Chuan agreed to let her go, but insisted she drink herbal medicine for a safe journey. Xia Mo complied. However, as she walked along the outskirts of town, panic set in when she spotted two passing policemen. Fearing trouble, she fled, prompting the officers to chase her. She hid in a narrow space, but it wasn't enough. The police quickly found her, cornering her in the tight spot. Fortunately, Chi Chuan arrived just in time to save Xia Mo from the two policemen who were about to arrest her for being an illegal immigrant. Although Xia Mo had covered her face, she wasn't recognized as a fugitive. This was due to the herbal drink given by Chi Chuan earlier, which had caused temporary rashes on her face, altering her appearance. Luckily, Chi Chuan also provided her with an antidote, which quickly neutralized the effects of the drink. However, this incident thwarted Xia Mo's plan to return to China, and her dream of becoming a pianist was left unfulfilled. Later, after taking a bath, Xia Mo slipped and fell. Chi Chuan quickly rushed to her aid and took her to the hospital. During this vulnerable moment, Xia Mo expressed her frustration, questioning why Chi Chuan had never touched her, despite their customary marriage. Upon hearing this, Chi Chuan explained that he would not approach her intimately until he was certain of his own feelings. The next day, at the AO's Mafia headquarters, Qing Feng confided in Chaya, revealing that he had long harbored feelings for Xia Mo, even though they were not related by blood. However, he was conflicted, as Xia Mo was now married to Chi Chuan. Similarly, Chaya admitted her feelings for Chi Chuan, though it was apparent that his heart belonged to Xia Mo. Meanwhile, Zheng Nan, who had previously received valuable items from Xia Mo, sold them to Chaya. However, being an expert in valuable goods, Chaya quickly identified the items as counterfeit. She confronted Xia Mo, demanding accountability. Tension arose, though it was ultimately harmless, as Xia Mo would never intentionally harm anyone. In response, Chi Chuan took responsibility for the fake goods and promised compensation. Later, Chi Chuan and Xia Mo went shopping for a gift to present to his uncle, a general. At one moment, Xia Mo played a nearby piano, and Chi Chuan was deeply moved by her performance. However, his emotions were soon clouded when Chaya informed him that a DNA test confirmed Xia Mo shared a biological connection with Su He, the very man Chi Chuan suspected as his enemy. Shocked, Chi Chuan immediately confronted Chaya to examine the DNA test results. Despite his anger, Chi Chuan hesitated to accuse Xia Mo of deception without certainty. He asked Zheng Nan to verify the DNA test results once more. Chi Chuan remained furious over his brother's death, which occurred while transporting the rare Wucha gemstone. Though Su He was a prime suspect, Chi Chuan also harbored doubts about the anonymous gemstone seller from Mangbei, suspecting they were no ordinary person. Meanwhile, Xia Mo, feeling abandoned by Chi Chuan, found comfort with Qing Feng. They drank together and shared deep conversations, unaware that Chi Chuan was eavesdropping nearby. Later, when Xiao Mo asked Chi Chuan to take her home, he carried her gently in his arms. Her behavior while intoxicated hinted at her growing affection for Chi Chuan, something he had already sensed. Yet, Chi Chuan was torn. While his feelings for Xiao Mo deepened, accepting the possibility that she was Su Hei's daughter remained a bitter pill to swallow. The next morning, Xiao Mo woke up in Chi Chuan's house, finding herself unclothed. Fortunately, Chi Chuan reassured her that nothing had happened between them, which brought her relief. Her mood brightened further when she saw her identification documents and passport, now recovered, meaning she was no longer an illegal resident or fugitive in Mangbei. However, Xiao Mo's relief turned to shock upon discovering that Chi Chuan had been investigating her. He had learned that Xiao Mo was the biological daughter of Su Hei, the man Chi Chuan suspected of orchestrating his brother's death. Yet, Chi Chuan managed to control his emotions, realizing Xiao Mo knew nothing about the incident from 3 years ago. After sharing their feelings, they reconciled on this bright morning. Elsewhere, Qing Feng panicked upon learning that his boss, Ao Xin, had returned from a business trip and was aware that Su Hei's daughter, Xiao Mo, was still alive and under Chi Chuan's protection. Qing Feng warned Chi Chuan to safeguard Xiao Mo, revealing that Ao Xin was the true culprit behind the incident 3 years ago that led to Chi Chuan's brother's death, and that the Wucha gem was now in Ao Xin's possession. This revelation proved Su Hei's innocence. Chi Chuan later met Xiao Mo, his demeanor unusually serious, and asked her to accompany him somewhere. He took her to Ao Xin's mafia base. A few hours earlier, Chi Chuan had informed Ao Xin of his plan to surrender Xiao Mo, though he had already prepared for confrontation with the notorious Mangbei mafia. Upon learning that Ao Xin was his brother's killer, Chi Chuan's desire for revenge intensified. Meanwhile, Xiao Mo was detained by Ao Xin, who attached a time bomb to her leg to prevent escape. Chi Chuan, using a hidden device, overheard the conversation where Ao Xin demanded that Su Hei repurchase the Wucha gem in exchange for Xiao Mo's release. Determined to save her, Chi Chuan fought his way through Ao Xin's guards, but Ao Xin had anticipated this. He, along with Chaya and Qing Feng, quickly withdrew. That night, after freeing Xiao Mo, Chi Chuan attempted to escape with her. However, the bomb on Xiao Mo's leg and the mafia's encirclement forced them back. Xiao Mo remained a captive, though she was now allowed to move freely within the base. Shortly after, Chi Chuan secretly searched Ao Xin's hidden room for the Wucha gem, but triggered an alarm, nearly exposing himself. Fortunately, Chaya covered for him, claiming Chi Chuan was her fiancé. To avoid Ao Xin's wrath, Chi Chuan reluctantly agreed to the engagement, though it deeply upset Xiao Mo, making her doubt his affection. In the end, Ao Xin celebrated the engagement plans, seeing it as an opportunity to finalize the Wucha gem's sale. The next day, Chi Chuan and Chaya pretended to be affectionate, fooling Ao Xin, though Chi Chuan felt nothing for her. Xiao Mo, observing their closeness, grew jealous. Qing Feng seized this opportunity to draw nearer to Xiao Mo. As the engagement party approached, Ao Xin invited military leader Pu Bao, his ally, to witness the engagement and view the Wucha gem. After the event, Chi Chuan overheard Ao Xin's conversation with Pu Bao and discovered the showcased Wucha gem was fake. The real gem was hidden elsewhere, and though Pu Bao desired it, Ao Xin continually blocked his access. Realizing that Xiao Mo would be in danger after the engagement ceremony, Chi Chuan invited her to join forces to take revenge on Ao Xin, who had committed numerous crimes, including the murder of his brother 3 years ago. Unexpectedly, Xiao Mo agreed to the plan. Meanwhile, Chaya realized that Chi Chuan truly loved Xiao Mo and decided to let him go for his happiness. However, the atmosphere of the engagement ceremony suddenly changed when Pu Bao secretly poisoned Ao Xin. That evening, as the festivities continued, Ao Xin collapsed and was immediately captured by Pu Bao and his men. Seizing the moment, Qi Chuan and Xiao Mo left to retrieve the Wucha gemstone. At that moment, Chaya was filled with sorrow, knowing her father had been captured and was difficult to save, while the man she loved had left with Xiao Mo. Meanwhile, Qing Feng, who had always been a trusted ally of Ao Xin, betrayed him. Later, Qi Chuan and Xia Mo successfully retrieved the Wucha gemstone. Acting quickly, Xia Mo escaped with the gem, while Qi Chuan stayed behind to confront the guard alone. Though severely beaten, Qi Chuan managed to defeat them. Soon after, Zheng Nan arrived and informed him that Xia Mo had not returned to China and was still in Mangbei. It turned out that the chaos and Ao Xin's capture had been orchestrated by Qing Feng and Pu Bao to seize Ao Xin's wealth. However, their alliance began to crumble under the weight of their personal ambitions. Pu Bao even recorded Qing Feng's confession, which could ruin his career. The next morning, Xiao Mo awoke in Qing Feng's room. He expressed his desire to always be with her, but Xiao Mo rejected him, stating she did not share his feelings. While still at Ao Xin's base, Xiao Mo met Chaya, who had come to terms with her emotions. Chaya acknowledged that Qi Chuan's heart belonged to Xiao Mo and decided to help her escape to meet Qi Chuan for a final farewell before returning to China. However, when Xiao Mo was about to leave with Qing Feng, she realized that Qi Chuan was injured and could collapse if he forced himself to move. Indeed, Qi Chuan collapsed from exhaustion after the previous night's fight. Fortunately, with Zheng Nan's help, Xiao Mo nursed Qi Chuan back to health. In that moment, she remembered how Qi Chuan had once helped her by giving her a flare gun, making her believe they were destined for each other. Later, when Qi Chuan woke up, he was shocked to find Zheng Nan informing him that Xiao Mo had left, leaving behind only a letter. Her departure was also at the request of Qi Chuan's uncle, a military general, who believed she was not suitable for Qi Chuan. That night, before leaving for China, Pu Bao threatened Qing Feng to hand over the Wucha gemstone or risk having his incriminating confession exposed. Panicked, Qing Feng found himself in a tight corner. The next day, as Xiao Mo headed to the airport to return to China with Qing Feng, Chaya and Zheng Nan secretly helped her to meet Qi Chuan for a final goodbye. However, just as Xiao Mo stepped out of the car, it suddenly exploded, killing Zheng Nan and Chaya, who were still inside. Waiting nearby in the forest, Qi Chuan was devastated when he realized that his friends were gone, victims of the tragic explosion. Meanwhile, Qing Feng arrived and quickly whisked Xiao Mo away to safety. Qi Chuan was left in shock and sorrow upon learning of Zheng Nan's death. He could hardly believe that his loyal friend was gone. Despite an investigation led by Qi Chuan's uncle, no clues were found regarding the origin of the bomb. Meanwhile, Xiao Mo and Qing Feng had already returned to China. 1 year later, Xiao Mo accidentally crossed paths with Qi Chuan, who had now become a wealthy CEO. However, Qi Chuan was puzzled, as Xiao Mo seemed not to recognize him at all. It was revealed that Xiao Mo was now engaged to Qing Feng, who led her father Su Hei's company. Yet, needing funds for his project, Qing Feng sought the help of an investor, who turned out to be none other than Qi Chuan. The revelation left both Qing Feng and Xiao Mo shocked, realizing Qi Chuan had become a billionaire. It was during this encounter that Qi Chuan discovered Xiao Mo suffered from memory loss, having forgotten their memories together from a year ago. Qing Feng took advantage of this situation to stay close to Xiao Mo. However, after some investigation, Qi Chuan suspected that Xiao Mo was merely pretending to have amnesia and actually remembered everything. This suspicion led Qi Chuan to question whether Xiao Mo had been involved in the car bombing that killed Zheng Nan and Chaya. Meanwhile, Xiao Mo and Qing Feng were still under the influence of Bailan, their stepmother, who now led Su Hei's company. Previously, Bailan had intended to kill Xiao Mo, but now she wanted her alive to secure all of Su Hei's company shares. That evening, Xiao Mo visited Qi Chuan's villa, hoping to learn about the fate of her two friends who had been victims of the car explosion a year ago. Chuan informed her that Zheng Nin had passed away, but Chaya had survived, albeit with an injured leg. Mo felt relieved that Chaya was still alive, though the memory of the explosion haunted her. Despite this, Mo struggled to trust Chuan as she once had, choosing instead to believe in Feng, the man who had been by her side over the past year. Her lingering confusion, possibly from mild brain trauma, clouded her ability to distinguish good from evil. Chuan, overwhelmed with emotion, sought solace in whiskey. He still loved Mo deeply, but felt lost about how to win her back. The next day, Chuan visited Feng's office alongside Mo, offering an investment to save Feng's company from bankruptcy. However, tensions flared as both men vied for Mo's affection. Once again, Chuan emerged victorious. Determined to rekindle their bond, Chuan set out to create new memories with Mo, hoping to restore her lost recollections. He arranged for her to meet Chaya, who was overjoyed to see Mo safe and well. However, the strain of trying to remember overwhelmed Mo, causing her distress. Meanwhile, Feng faced pressure from Bailan to quickly secure Chuan's investment so they could escape together and continue their secret affair. Unbeknownst to them, Chuan had planted surveillance cameras, capturing their relationship. This evidence revealed that Mo had witnessed the car bombing a year ago. If her memory returned, it could expose the true culprit. Although Mo hadn't fully regained her memory of the bombing, Chuan worked to jog her recollection. He showed her the video of Feng's illicit relationship with Bailan, shocking and angering Mo. The next day, Mo confronted Feng, who dismissed the affair as a calculated move to manipulate Bailan. Aware that Chuan possessed a recording implicating him in Ao Sin's murder, Feng enlisted Mo's help to retrieve the evidence. Trusting him, Mo used Chuan's favorite sweet rice porridge to lull him to sleep and stole the recording, handing it to Feng. However, Chuan had anticipated the betrayal and pretended to be asleep to expose Feng. Confronting him, Chuan offered Feng a choice: take the recording or take Mo. Unexpectedly, Feng chose the recording, revealing his selfishness and opening Mo's eyes to his true nature. Together, Chuan and Mo devised a plan for revenge, enlisting Chaya to stir conflict between Feng and Bailan. Later, Mo tricked Feng into signing an investment contract that secretly transferred his company shares. The plan succeeded, leading to a confrontation where Feng admitted to orchestrating the car bombing that killed Zheng Nan and murdering Pu Bao over the Wucha gemstone. Realizing his crimes had been witnessed by Mo, Feng fled, threatening to kill Bailan if she betrayed him. With trust restored, Chuan and Mo vowed to gather evidence and bring Feng to justice. Mo visited Bailan, urging her to repent and return to her comatose husband, Su He, promising not to press charges or seize her shares. Moved by Mo's compassion, Bailan appeared to accept her plea. However, this was a ruse devised with Feng to capture Mo and Chaya. Feng held them hostage, threatening to harm Chaya. Fortunately, Chuan arrived, offering a suitcase of money in exchange for their release, but Feng refused. He drugged Bailan to escape with the money alone, unknowingly recorded by Chuan's hidden device. Bailan, feigning unconsciousness, later turned against Feng, seeking revenge for his betrayal. In the end, Feng's desperation led him to self-immolation. Chuan and Mo, now reunited and free of deception, returned the Wucha gemstone to its rightful place in Mangbei. There, they embarked on a new chapter of their lives together, their bond stronger than ever. Moral lesson from the story: if you go to marry someone by accident, make sure they're not the daughter of the man you suspect killed your brother. Also, always check your herbal drinks. They might lead to a wedding, a bomb, or both.